Hey! What the hell is this?
It's a bowl of chowder, sir.
Wait a minute, come here. What did you call it? Say it loud enough so it...
Here, sir. Here's your bill.
What the fuck is this? Automatic 18% at the bottom here.
Mm-hmm. You can choose 25 or 40% tip if you'd like.
40%?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think... Okay, you're being extreme here.
No, we just
Nowhere
like
does
to rip people off.
40%.
Yeah, expensive, pretentious places do. Because they try to pretend that they're worth it, but they're not. Our question here is actually, well, as you can tell, should you tip? Or how much should you tip? Pretty much just how much, or not how much, sorry, should you tip in general? And how tipping has changed over the years. And sort of why, at least in my mind, you shouldn't tip. And you also shouldn't feel obligated to do it. You shouldn't feel bad for not doing it. Because that's what it's come to, okay?
Okay.
It used to be customary, right? Because it's like people got paid a certain wage for doing it.
Yeah.
Then people started tipping them for it.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, they got to drop their wage, obviously, because they're getting more money than everyone else here just because they're bringing the person their food or their drink. So that somehow is giving them more money. Not the cooks actually say cooking the food, for example. And so then they just lowered the wage because these people are eligible for tips. And so most places, when it comes to tipping, do rely on tips.
Yeah.
But now minimum wage just went up, for example. So say in Canada, serving wage, I believe, went from, I think it was 10.10 to, I thought it was going to be 10.60, but I think it's now like 11.40. So it's still a minimum wage, like it's relatively low. But if you make good tips off that, then that's not too bad to make an hour. But again, the problem here isn't so much how much they're making an hour. It's the fact that when it comes to tipping, and Adam's looking up some statistics here right now, but Adam, pay attention to me. Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah.
When it comes to tipping, in your mind, do you have to give someone a tip? Do you have to give them more of your money after you already gave their business money for, being there? And is it now more of a obligatory thing instead of a customary one, where you kind of feel obligated to do it, or you feel bad if you don't, and you shouldn't feel bad or guilty? Like, do you agree with any of this, or what are your thoughts on it, basically?
This is hard. I think this is the first. So this podcast was supposed to be about us having different opinions, and so far it hasn't really been that at all. But I think this is the first one. I think this is the first one where I think I do differ for you on this. And the more the more that you were saying it like that, maybe it is just like I've just been raised that way and it's just custom. So
Right.
I've just been raised to think, yes, this is necessary. Or if I really do feel like it is necessary. Or if I've just been taught to think that.
I believe you've been taught to think that because
I think it's a little
takes
bit of
into
both.
consideration. You go to, I'll say, what's around like local spots? Like, do you know what Jack Astor's or East Side Mario's? Those things.
Sure.
Ring a bell or
Red Robin.
Red Robin, sure. Adam's just making up names now. Okay, go to Bluebird.
Wait, do you really not know Red Robin?
Yes, I do. I'm being
Okay.
difficult. Okay, anyway. So yeah, you go to Red Robin. Man or woman comes over, asks you what you'd like to eat and what you'd
Yeah.
like to drink.
Yeah.
You tell them.
Yeah.
They say, okay, great, thank you. They leave. They go tell someone else. That person gets the drinks. Somebody else makes your food. Maybe they make it really well. You love it. That person then just brings you your food, hands it to you, and then waits for you to give them money when you pay your bill. They wait for like more of your money.
Okay.
You ran food. You brought me like a steak. I don't know what you're expecting from me, and I shouldn't feel bad for not tipping you. If anything, I'd give it to the cook if I love the steak. Be like, that was fantastic. Give him $5. That was wonderful steak. You, it's like you were super pleasant. You're polite. Pleasure to talk to. You make it. You keep the atmosphere nice. If all of you are like this, that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to give you extra money for that. You're already being paid per hour to do your job. I'm not going to give you more of my money that I'm working hard to earn because you did some very basic tasks, I guess. I don't know. A lot of it's like a customer service thing is what serving is. It's more so about customer service. And I'm not being an ass here. One of my first jobs, my first sort of real job was working at a a full-serve gas station. Good old Sunoco back in the day.
Okay.
So we did everything. People pulled up, we pumped their gas, we
hate
wiped
that,
their
by the
windows,
way.
we did their oil change, we put in some washer fluid, we do everything, and they
Yeah.
tipped us because they're coming there to kind of give us extra money
Yeah.
to do those things because they don't want to do it. Whether they're lazy or they're like, I got the money, I really don't care, I'll just give it away. So I know what it's like to be tipped and work in a service industry like that, aside from briefly working in a kitchen here. So I get it. But if you don't like it, if people aren't tipping you, you shouldn't be mad at them. Like, oh, what a douchebag. She's a giant B. He's a total D because they didn't give me more, of their own money that they earned just because I brought them food. Then get a different job. I'm sorry. I don't think anyone is like forced into server jobs. You know what I mean? Like, this is the only job I can get anywhere, and you're mad that you have to do it and people aren't tipping you. But again, they don't have to. Okay?
No.
Like, am I wrong?
Well, okay, let me ask you this, and I don't know, you might have kind of just answered this, but like, so at our job, both of us have done a few times where we bring people's bags in. We work at a hotel. I'm not going to say where, but...
Yeah, we're embarrassed.
We bring people's bags up to their rooms, and I'm sure a couple times you've had someone give you like... Especially because we get a lot of Americans and stuff. They'll give you like a few American dollar bills or whatever.
They do tend to tip
so
more,
do you
which is
turn
nice.
it away?
I've told people before with certain tips like that, like, oh, no, it's okay, don't worry, because I'm sure they already know because they do pay for it, but like Adam and I would be getting tipped to do the luggage check.
Yeah,
we're not,
paid.
like, I was going to say, we're just to clarify, we're not luggage boys, that's not what we do there. It's just when we have an excess of people coming in and tour groups and stuff, they'll ask, other staff, hey, do you want to do a luggage check?
Yeah,
and sure, why not? We get paid nothing, so the extra money is great. But I you don't want to be rude, okay? But I kind of say, like, no, it's okay, happy to help or whatever. And if they insist, like, no, here, take it, fine. I'm not going to fight you on it. Like, I'm already getting paid for it, though. So if you don't tip me, the thing is, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
If you do, great. That was a nice little perk. But I'm already getting paid, so it's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to be mad if you don't. I'm not having them close the door on me after they give him the bag and be like, okay, well, breaking into his room later and stealing his stuff when he leaves, you know what I mean? Because he didn't give me a tip.
What about the people that leave tips in the rooms for the housekeepers? Do you think that's not necessary?
I don't think it's necessary at all because no, it's only necessary.
You're saying that they're getting paid to clean anyway.
They are. They
so
have
they
an
shouldn't be
hourly
getting
wage
tips.
to clean.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not much where we are, but they have an hourly wage to clean.
Yeah.
Other hotels can pay you like significantly more depending on the hotel you're in, and then you can give you more tips because the bigger hotels, more people coming in.
Yeah.
Also, more people just willing to spend the extra money to tip. But they don't. Well, okay, they don't need it in that, like, obviously they don't get paid a ton there, but it's like they don't need it in that it's not really warranted. But the guests can leave it saying, you did a great job cleaning our room during the week. We stayed here for 4 days. You did a great job cleaning up everything, replacing stuff. You were friendly when we saw you that one day when we were still in a room. So, like, here's $2, here's $5.
But can't you say that? Can't you say the same thing for the waitress? Like, I think it's kind of saying like you did a great job. You kept kind of coming and refilling our waters, refilling coffee. You're really friendly. Blah blah. Here's $2.
You can if you want. I just don't. But the problem is now.
So your problem is that it's basically become mandatory.
It is in so many ways where you feel bad for not tipping, and it's like I shouldn't feel guilty for that. I ordered a pizza from you. You brought me my pizza. You just drove it over here. I paid your company for it. They're paying you by the hour to do it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to give you any more of my money or feel bad about not doing it. Like you just drove it over here. I want to quote the infamous Dwight Schrute, and that like, why would I tip someone of a job I'm capable of doing myself? You know what I mean? Like I can deliver food. I can drive myself around. Oh, I think I'm getting the quote wrong. But, Dwight, however, did tip his... I forget the guy's name. But anyway, Dwight is unable to pulverize his own kidney stones, so he did tip his urologist. That was it. Because, he can't do that. That's what it was. But anyway, like, again, that kind of makes sense, too. If anything, I'd almost want to, even though a doctor is loaded, I'd almost want to tip a doctor if he, like, found out something with you or diagnosed something with you, probably like, wow, great catch. Like, I wouldn't have thought that. Way to go.
Or, like, or if you had, like, open heart surgery.
Sure, you'd be like, you kept me alive.
Yeah.
You cut me open and, cut open my heart, or you replaced an organ in my body with somebody else's to keep me breathing, okay? Here's, I don't know, $100. Just go, dinner's on me tonight. You're fantastic. As opposed to, you refilled my water jug. I know it sounds like I'm being a dick here, but I'm not. Like I said, I have worked in that sort of like service industry stuff where I know what it's like to get tips. But you shouldn't. The problem is people demand it. And so many people that I talk to get angry, like, oh yeah, they don't tip anything. Well, they don't have to. They're already coming here and paying the company that you work for to be there.
Yeah.
They don't have to give you more of their money if they don't want to. And again, tipping's become so obligatory these days where again, you feel like you're sort of the, pariah here if you don't. You're a bad person, you know what I mean? If you go back there, like, oh, that guy's spitting his food, he doesn't tip. What did I do for that? I don't have to tip you.
Yeah. So, just before we started talking about this, I started looking at, so the average tipping in Canada is 15 to 20%. It says on total bill before tax, less for poor service, more for truly exceptional service. Many restaurants may charge an automatic 15 to 18% for larger groups.
Right, and I can kind of understand that to an extent, because if they just have to deal with a lot of people, they got to get food out there fast, their servers are working harder for it, that kind of makes sense for the automatic. Well, we have that at other places or with catering, right, with the gratuities and everything. That makes sense a little bit. But again, it's not something you have to do or should be forced to do. Or again, what are your thoughts on now certain restaurants where you go where tipping is almost not optional, like mandatory, where on a debit machine it's like, say, tip 5%, 10%, 50%. It's like,
and you
that's,
can't,
I want to say
no.
There's a problem with your machine. It doesn't have no tip. And if they say, oh, like we just have those, then I'd be happy to say, oh, then I don't have a debit card or a credit card.
Yeah.
I have the exact amount of cash that you need for this, but that's it. That's crazy, isn't it? I have that exact amount of cash that you need for our bill, but nothing else. Whoa,
There's
crazy universe.
I actually experienced this. There's a place at the Bay Center that I bought, like, a bubble tea. Like, you're like, of course. Anyway, I got a bubble tea, and on the debit machine, it came up like, the tip percentages, and it gave 3 options, and it did not let you say no to that. And I was like, you're just making me a bubble tea. Like, I worked, like...
What's this place called? We can say it's fine. Because I want to go there and make a big scene.
I think it's called Big Orange. I know there's one of those places that's called Big Orange. But anyway, it was like, that was crazy to me because I worked in food service, as you know, for 6 years. I've made like millions of drinks. Yeah, everyone knows that. But like, and like, that to me is insane.
I don't think, but also I don't think that's legal. How is that legal? You're forcing people to give you their money.
I don't know. I haven't been there since.
Yeah,
so
that
maybe
doesn't
they
make sense.
changed it.
So you
Maybe
can
they
do it
got
with a debit machine, but when like I go out last week, I go up to a guy with a gun and say, "Give me your money." I'm the bad guy. I get arrested, right? So now I'm just gonna go do it with debit machines. I'm gonna go like tell someone to stick their card in here, or there's gonna be trouble. Give me a tip, and then peace out, because apparently that's legal.
Yeah.
You can force people to give you their money. That's almost like it's not even, I don't know, is that extortion in some weird way?
Like,
you're not like getting,
it
like,
kind
you know
of
what
is.
I mean? Like,
that's like if I added an extra 15% when people paid with debit at the hotel. If I just added an extra 15%
that's
on top,
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Until they see it and say, whoa, that's not what the original bill was.
And that's a lot
different.
of money too.
Yeah.
15% of. But anyway, so I'm also looking at here the worldwide kind of averages for tipping. Most places are between 15-20%. There was one I just saw, Italy, leave as close to 10% as convenient, but no more.
That
and
sounds fine.
There was also
like at most, yeah.
There was also the other one we were looking at, Japan.
Oh yeah, Japan sounds great.
It was I think you would love Japan. I can't find it now, but it was.
They say no tipping, just treat with wisdom and knowledge.
A largely non-tipping society. They appreciate a tip, but only in yen. Estimate a little more than 100 yen to the dollar, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I also wanted to show you because do you know how low some of the minimum wages are in the States? Because all the states have their own minimum wages.
Right.
Let's look at some of these. The one that, I think this is the lowest one, Wyoming, $5.15.
That's brutal.
$5.15.
Like, I mean, that's where, okay, Trump, you're useless, but man, change that, please.
Wisconsin, $7.25. Virginia,
Wisconsin.
$7.25.
Come on, Green Bay.
Some of these, like, I forgot were a state. Have you ever looked at the list of all the states and been like, I totally forgot that existed?
I read them all before I go to bed at night.
Do you?
Yep, so I
You're
know
a
where they
weird
all
guy.
are.
That's a weird thing to do.
Yeah, man, helps me fall asleep.
Like Nevada. Whoever thinks about Nevada.
Nevada's a big place down there.
But it's like, I don't know.
People go there for like sort of vacations and everything.
When was the last time you thought about Maine?
Chow mein?
Oh my god. Delaware. But anyway,
No
like,
one thinks of
them,
Delaware ever,
think,
but that's fine.
I
Okay,
think,
hang on. We're getting off here, but
we're getting a bit off here. I think the highest one is Massachusetts, $11.
which is around what we have now here, at least in Canada.
Yeah,
like
I
it
think
got bumped to
we're-
I think 11.40 now.
11.65 or something like that. Something, but a lot of these.
No, we're 12.65 for minimum wage. I think serving the minimum wage got bumped to like 11.40. I thought. I don't know
And
if
that's
it's
the thing
11.65,
too.
but yeah.
I bet that's not even. I bet the serving minimum wage is
Oh, I don't know how
lower.
much lower you can go from that. But again, here's what I'm saying. Like, people will use this as an excuse, be like, oh, well, they get paid, very little, you know what I mean? Then do something else. Don't choose a job where you literally rely on tips to get by.
A lot of
That's
people
the job. No.
don't
People
have
aren't
that
like,
choice,
yes,
though.
they do. They're not
No.
forced into serving. You know what I mean?
If they can't find anything else.
Oh, what? What? But I mean, you can make
What-
more. You
what?
can make more working at Tim Hortons than at a server in some places because you'll get the just below minimum wage, and you may get hardly any tips at that spot. So you can go work at Tim Hortons, just because now, at least in Ontario, they get more money.
Oh,
but,
Georgia, 5.15. Fucking Georgia.
yeah,
Why?
That makes sense, Georgia.
Why would anyone live in Georgia?
You know
Anyway,
why? Wait, Atlanta's in Georgia, isn't it?
That sounds right. That
Yeah.
checks out. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's after the Atlanta Falcons blew that lead. I don't know.
Anyway, I think a lot of these people, if you're making 5.15 working in a Denny's in Wyoming, then you need tips. You have to rely on
Right,
tips.
but that's the thing. Pick a job where you don't have to rely on tips.
You
And
can't
not even
just say pick a
No,
job.
everyone can't pick and choose. We know that. Like, we are not able to do that right now.
Yeah.
But go for one where you at least it's steady. This is your hourly thing. Okay, I can kind of get by off that at least, as opposed to I can get by off this maybe, depending on how many tips I get, or I might be screwed for rent this month if I don't get tips. Because people don't have to give me tips. Totally optional. So if they don't, then I have a big problem and I should look elsewhere. But people people almost more so choose to go into serving jobs willingly because of the tips. They know they can get good tips.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been jealous of some people that have worked at some high-end places and thought, you got to be shitting me, you get that much in tips.
Yeah, you make like more than my paycheck in tips.
Exactly.
Some
Or
of these places.
your tips are more than your just hourly wage,
Yeah.
obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. But sometimes like double or triple just your regular hourly wage, say for an 8-hour shift or a 6-hour shift, which is crazy.
And a lot of those people, like, you're supposed to claim those and pay tax on them, but I think most of them don't.
I would.
But anyway, we're at about the 17-minute mark. Was there anything else? I think kind of the
I
consensus...
made my points. I made
Yeah,
them
oh, you certainly did.
very well, very clear.
I think for me, the bottom line is, like, I don't know, maybe, like, I think you kind of just... I always tip. I'm not going to stop tipping.
I already
But, like,
have to an extent. It depends where I am or what's going on.
But I kind of do. I think I do agree with you where like it shouldn't have become this absolutely mandatory thing where you're
Right.
where you're guilted if you don't.
Yeah, and it almost like you're frowned upon for not doing it. Like they think differently of you as if you're not a great guy or girl because you didn't tip them. You didn't give them more money.
I don't like that. Yeah, I think what I don't like actually is the fact that there's suggested percentages. Like
Yeah.
for me, it's like I think you should always just give like a little tiny bit, like
Yeah.
But then if it's exceptional, then you give like the 15 to 20%. And if it was like incredible, then maybe you give a little bit more than that.
Right. Say
But-
just to sort of wrap this up, maybe, because say if you just wanted to give $1, right? You
Yeah.
gave your server $1. That's fine. That's extra money. That's a tip.
Yeah.
Keep it. Don't complain. You got something from me. Okay. Be grateful. Simply put. But if say we're going again here where the serving minimum wage went up to around $11.40, give or take. Say you had 5 tables in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's your hourly thing, we'll say. And they all gave you $1. Then now, how much does it seem like you're making more an hour basically for that? You know what I mean? If you had that consistently and worked for 6 hours, that makes it not that bad. You're not loaded
Yeah.
from tips. But that's a nice little perk that you're getting. Even $1 from a table. So $5 on top of your
So that's like an extra
$11.40
$5
per
an
hour.
hour.
Right? So $16.40 pretty much. You're
Yeah.
getting an hour in a way.
But compare that to if each of those tips is $5, then it's $25.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah. But
No, I think it's more than $25 an hour. 5 tables, $5.
5 times 5, 25.
Yeah, plus the $11.40.
Well, plus the, yeah. But
Not a math guy. He's an accountant.
shut
Or
up.
wannabe accountant.
no, I wasn't that. Oh, I
He
hate
will
you.
be one day.
But
You'll be mine.
Anyway, yeah, I think that about wraps it up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Neither can I. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching and listening. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to. And leave any comments down below. If you agree with us or disagree with us, just give us your opinion.
Yeah, tell us your opinion and give us suggestions for topics. Josh really wants to do what is the best holiday. He's trying to start this whole debate between Christmas and Halloween.
I'm going to end this video right now.
All right.
Bye.